Last month, a rider in Phoenix got into it with a driver who cut him off. Words were exchanged. The rider pulled up next to the car at the next light, ready to make his point. The driver opened his door, knocked the bike over, and drove away. The rider was left with a crushed pelvis, a shattered femur, and 6 months of physical therapy. All because someone did not use their turn signal. You are on 2 wheels with 0 protection facing people in 4,000-pound steel cages. The math never works in your favor. I am breaking down the 12 absolute worst moments to get into any kind of fight on a motorcycle, and I guarantee you have been tempted in at least half of these situations. The difference between riders who live long enough to retire their bikes and the ones who end up in obituaries is this: they knew when to let it go. Moment 1. Highway speeds, anything over 60 miles per hour. At highway speeds, you are managing throttle, brakes, body position, wind resistance, and traffic flow all at once. Your brain is already maxed out. Now add confrontation to the equation. A driver swerves at you, you react, you grab too much front brake, and you are tumbling at 70 miles per hour. Road rash does not just scrape off skin, it strips you down to muscle and bone. I have seen the photos from accident reports. You do not want that. But here is the real kicker. You cannot defend yourself while controlling a motorcycle at speed. You need both hands on the bars. You need your focus on the road. The second you start gesturing, shouting, or trying to retaliate, you have given up control of your bike. At 60+ miles per hour, losing control for even 1 second means you are done. The driver who pissed you off is in a climate-controlled box with airbags. You are wearing a leather jacket. Moment 2. In heavy traffic, bumper to bumper, nowhere to go. Traffic like that turns your motorcycle into a sitting target. You're surrounded by cars on all sides. No escape route. No room to maneuver. One angry driver can box you in while their buddy gets out. Now what? You can't split lanes because traffic is not moving. You can't back up. You can't turn around. You're trapped on a 500-pound machine that requires both hands to operate. I watched this exact scenario play out on the 405. A rider and a driver got into it over a lane change. Traffic stopped. The driver got out. The rider tried to back up, dropped his bike, and got his leg pinned under 400 pounds of hot metal. The driver walked back to his car and drove off when traffic moved. The rider suffered a broken ankle, second-degree burns from the exhaust, and a totaled bike. All that happened before any punches were thrown. Moment 3. While lane splitting or filtering through stopped traffic, you are already in the most vulnerable position possible. You are threading between cars with inches of clearance on both sides. Your escape options are 0. Now add an angry driver to that equation. They do not even have to get out of their car. They just open their door accidentally. You go down between 2 cars, and now you are getting run over when traffic moves. Or they swerve, just a little, just enough. Plausible deniability for them, catastrophic injury for you. And here's what makes this moment especially stupid. You initiated the vulnerability. You chose to put yourself between cars. You gave up your escape route for convenience. Then you decided to escalate a confrontation while you were in the worst possible tactical position. That is not bravery, that is stupidity with a death wish. These 3 situations are the obvious death traps. Every rider knows highway speeds and heavy traffic are dangerous. But the next ones? That is where riders get cocky. That is where they think they can handle it. That is where the worst decisions get made. Moment 4. At a red light, feet down, bike in gear, going nowhere. Red lights are where most road rage incidents happen on motorcycles. You are stuck there. Bike is in gear, feet are down, you cannot maneuver. The driver behind you, who has been tailgating for the last 3 miles, can get out of their car right now. What is your move? You cannot ride away. The light is red. If you try to filter forward, you are running the red light. If you try to go around, you are in the intersection with cross traffic. Or they just rear end you, push you into the intersection. You go down in front of cross traffic doing 45. I have seen this happen twice. Both times the rider thought getting aggressive at the previous light was worth it. Both times they ended up under someone else's car. One of them walked away, the other one did not. The worst part? You put yourself there. You stayed engaged. You could have filtered to the front at the previous light. You could have turned off. You could have pulled into a gas station. But you wanted to make your point. You wanted them to know they were wrong. Now you are trapped at a red light with an angry driver behind you and nowhere to go. Moment 5. In a parking lot surrounded by obstacles and tight spaces. Parking lots are tactical nightmares for motorcycles. You have cars parked on both sides, curbs, light poles, shopping carts, speed bumps. Your bike becomes a 500-pound anchor you cannot abandon. You cannot split between parked cars. You cannot jump curbs. You cannot outmaneuver a car in a parking lot because there is no room to maneuver. A driver who is angry can use their car as a weapon. They can pin you against a row of parked cars. They can block your exit. They can circle back while you are trying to navigate around a speed bump. And if you go down in a parking lot, you are hitting the asphalt at 15 miles per hour with your bike on top of you. Low speed does not mean low consequence when you are pinned under 400 pounds of metal. Moment 6. At a gas station, kickstand down, helmet off, you are completely vulnerable. Kickstand is down, helmet is off, gloves are off. You are standing next to your bike, pumping gas, and you cannot ride away. You cannot even get on your bike quickly. You are just a person standing in a parking lot next to flammable liquids. Security cameras are everywhere, and they are recording your stupidity in high definition. The confrontation you are about to start is evidence. The punch you are about to throw is assault on video. Your insurance company will get a copy. The prosecutor will get a copy. Your lawyer will watch it and tell you to take the plea deal. Now here is where riders make the fatal mistake of thinking they have an advantage. Moment 7. When you're riding with a group, you might think there is safety in numbers. Group rides can create mob mentality. One rider in your group gets cut off and he escalates. Now you are all involved, whether you want to be or not. You pull over to back up your brother. The driver calls the cops. Police show up and see 12 motorcycles surrounding one car. Who do you think looks like the aggressor? Everyone gets charged with menacing and disorderly conduct. If someone threw a punch, you are all accessories. It does not matter that you were just standing there. You were part of the group. Your lawyer costs $3,000 minimum. Your court date is 6 months out. Your insurance drops you because you are now a liability. And those brothers who are riding next to you, half of them ghost when the lawyer bills start showing up. The worst part is the video. Someone always records group confrontations. That video goes viral. Your face is in it, your bike is in it, your license plate is in it. Now you are the internet villain. Your employer sees it, your family sees it. Everyone who ever said motorcyclists are thugs just got their proof, all because someone in your group could not let it go. Moment 8. When you think you can outrun them, when you twist that throttle and run. You think you're faster. You think you know the roads better. You're wrong on both counts. The driver you're running from, they live in this area. They know which streets dead end. They know where construction is. They know the police spots. You're just guessing. One wrong turn and you're trapped in a cul-de-sac with an angry driver blocking your exit. Or you run into construction and have to navigate barriers at speed. Or you blow through a red light and T-bone a minivan. Now you're not just dealing with road rage. You're dealing with felony hit and run, reckless endangerment, fleeing and eluding if police spotted you. Your bike becomes evidence. They impound it. Even if you ditch it and run on foot, they have your plate. They have witnesses. They have traffic cameras. You're getting charged whether they catch you that day or 3 weeks later. And running makes everything worse. The judge sees fled the scene on your report and throws the book at you. Moment 9. In your own neighborhood, anywhere near your home. You get into it with someone 2 blocks from your house. You win the confrontation. You ride home feeling tough. Now they know where you live. Your bike sits in your driveway every single night. You are not there watching it. You are inside asleep. Retaliation often comes when you are not expecting it. Slashed tires, keyed paint, sugar in the gas tank, smashed mirrors, or they just call the police and say you threatened them. Now you are dealing with police at your front door because someone knows your address. You handed them that information when you decided to engage close to home. Insurance will not cover vandalism from road rage. That is intentional damage from a known party. Your policy specifically excludes that. You are paying out of pocket for new tires, new paint, new whatever they destroyed, and you cannot prove who did it even though you know exactly who did it. The last 3 moments are where the legal system destroys you, even if you somehow win the physical fight. Moment 10. When you are being recorded, every phone is a camera pointed at you. Every car has a dash cam now. Every person has a phone. Every intersection has traffic cameras. You are being recorded. The confrontation you are about to start, that's going viral, and you will be the villain in that video even if the driver started it. Here is how it plays out. A driver cuts you off. You catch up to them. You start yelling. Someone in another car is already recording. They did not see the initial incident. They just see a motorcyclist screaming at a car. You are the aggressor in their video. That clip gets posted. 10,000 shares later, you are internet famous for all the wrong reasons. Your insurance company sees the video. Claim denied. You were engaged in aggressive behavior that contributed to the incident. Your employer sees the video. Human resources wants a meeting. Your face is attached to their company now. Your family sees the video. Your mother is crying, asking why you are acting like that. The worst part is the video never shows the full context. It starts when you react. It does not show what the driver did 30 seconds earlier. Nobody cares about context. They care about the angry biker threatening someone. That is the story. That is what sticks. That is what the prosecutor shows the jury. Moment 11, when the other driver has passengers, and it's your word against theirs. You get into it with a driver, they have their spouse in the passenger seat, their kids in the back, and a friend riding along. Now it's one of you against 4 of them when the police show up. You are outnumbered. The passengers will lie for the driver. They will coordinate their story before police arrive. They will say you threatened them. They will say you were swerving at their car. They will say they were terrified. They will say the children were crying. You are one person with one version of events. They are a family unit with 4 matching testimonies. The math does not work in your favor. Juries side with the car, and juries side with families. Juries see a lone motorcyclist versus a dad protecting his kids, and you lose that case every single time. It does not matter what actually happened. It does not matter that you were right. You are getting convicted, or you are taking a plea deal your lawyer negotiates to keep you out of jail. Moment 12. After any kind of accident or close call, when adrenaline is already maxed out, you almost get hit. Adrenaline dumps into your system. The fight or flight response kicks in. Your hands are shaking. Your heart is pounding. Your judgment is completely gone. This is the absolute worst moment to engage in any confrontation because you are not thinking clearly. Anything you do right now is assault, not self-defense. The close call is over. The danger has passed. You are no longer defending yourself. You are retaliating. That is a crime. and you just handed them a lawsuit on a silver platter. You go after the driver, you break their mirror, you dent their door, you punch their window. That is property damage, that is assault, that is battery. The prosecutor does not care that they almost killed you 5 seconds ago. They care about what you did after the fact. You are getting charged, you are getting sued, you are paying their legal fees, plus damages, plus your own lawyer. Here's what every single one of these 12 situations has in common. You lose even when you win. Let us break down what actually happens when you engage in any of these 12 situations. Medical bills first. Even if you win the fight, you probably went down. Your bike hit the pavement, you hit the pavement. Emergency room visits start at $1,500 minimum. X-rays, CT scan if you hit your head, orthopedic consults if you broke something. You are looking at $5,000 to $10,000 before you even leave the hospital. Legal fees come next. Assault charges mean you need a criminal defense attorney. That is $3,000 to $5,000 as a retainer just to start. A civil lawsuit from the other driver means a separate attorney, another $3,000 to $5,000. You are $10,000 in the hole before either case goes to trial. And if it does go to trial, multiply those numbers by 3. Insurance consequences destroy you long term. Your rates do not just go up, they skyrocket, or your insurance company drops you entirely. Now you are in the high-risk pool paying triple what you used to pay for the next 5 years minimum. That is an extra $2,000 to $3,000 per year. Do the math. That is $15,000 over 5 years because you could not control your temper for 30 seconds. Bike damage adds up fast. Fairings, mirrors, levers, exhaust, tank. You dropped your bike at a standstill? That is $2,000 in cosmetic damage, easy. You went down at speed? That is a totaled bike. Your insurance may not cover it because you were engaged in aggressive behavior. You are buying a new bike out of pocket, or you are not riding. Wages and lost income pile on top. Court dates mean missing work. Medical appointments mean missing work. Physical therapy means missing work. You are losing hundreds of dollars per day in wages, while paying thousands of dollars in legal fees and medical bills. The financial hit compounds every single week this drags out. Here is the core stupidity of all of this. You are risking $50,000 in total consequences and potential death or permanent disability over what exactly? Someone cut you off? Someone did not see you? Someone flipped you off? Your ego is not worth your life. Your pride is not worth $50,000. The satisfaction of making your point lasts about 5 seconds. The consequences last for years. The only winning move is to de-escalate every single time. Create distance. Let them win the interaction. Let them think they got away with it. Let them drive off feeling smug. You live to ride another day. That is the actual victory. Not proving you were right. Not teaching them a lesson. Surviving. Reality check time. That driver who cut you off goes home to their family. They eat dinner, they watch TV, they forget about you in 20 minutes. You go to the hospital or jail. You are dealing with lawyers and bills and consequences for months. Who actually won that interaction? The person who let it go and rode home safe. Every rider thinks they will handle it differently until they are in the moment. The adrenaline hits. The anger takes over. Logic disappears. Decide right now before you are ever in one of these situations that you will not engage. Make that decision while you are calm. Rehearse it mentally. Visualize yourself riding away, because once that adrenaline dumps, you will not make rational decisions anymore. You will run on instinct and emotion. Your instinct in that moment will be whatever you have trained it to be. Train it now to create distance. Train it now to let things go. Train it now to choose life over ego. Which of these 12 situations has tempted you? Drop a comment and let me know. And if this video just saved you from making a $50,000 mistake, hit subscribe so we can keep building a smarter, safer riding community together.